There's a moment that happens in almost every cat-owning household, usually in the early morning or sometime after dinner, when you push back your chair or set down your phone and start walking toward the bathroom. You're not making any dramatic announcement. You're not calling anyone's name. You're barely even thinking about where you're going. And yet, before you've even reached the hallway, you hear it, the soft, purposeful padding of 4 small paws on the floor behind you. You turn around, and there they are, your cat following you. Again, most people laugh it off. It becomes one of those endearing quirks they mention at dinner parties or caption in photos they post online. Can't even go to the bathroom alone, the caption reads, followed by a laughing emoji and a picture of a pair of curious eyes peering through a cracked door. People relate to it instantly because nearly every cat owner has experienced exactly this. It's funny, it's relatable, and most of the time it gets filed away under the broad category of cats are weird, which is a category that somehow manages to explain everything and nothing at the same time. But here's the thing. What your cat is doing when they follow you to the bathroom is not random, and it's not weird in the meaningless sense of the word. It is, in fact, one of the most layered and revealing behaviors your cat will ever show you. It pulls from millions of years of evolutionary history. It reflects the specific bond your cat has built with you as an individual. It tells you something about how they perceive you, how they perceive your home, how they perceive themselves in relation to you, and what they believe their role is in your shared life. Every single time your cat follows you through that door, they are communicating something real and specific, and the vast majority of cat owners never stop long enough to hear what's actually being said. If you've ever shut the door in your cat's face because you wanted a moment of privacy, and honestly, who hasn't? You might have been, without realizing it, turning away something your cat was genuinely trying to offer you. Not something trivial. Not just companionship in the loose, casual sense. Something that in the world of cat behavior carries real weight and real meaning. So let's actually talk about it. Let's pull apart every layer of what's happening when your cat makes that daily journey to the bathroom with you. Because once you understand it fully, you will never look at that small furry shadow the same way again. The first thing you need to understand is that your cat is not following you to the bathroom because they're bored, though boredom is a real factor in some feline behaviors. They're not following you because they randomly decided to see what you are up to. When your cat clocks you moving toward a small, enclosed room and then disappears inside it, something much more primal activates in their brain. Something old, something that existed long before your cat was ever a domesticated animal lounging on a heated blanket in a climate-controlled apartment. In feral cat colonies, which are the closest real-world analog we have to the social lives of cats before domestication became the norm, cats watch over each other during moments of vulnerability. This is not the same as the kind of cooperative social watching you see in, say, meerkats or certain primates, where animals take formal turns, standing guard. Cats are not that socially organized, and anyone who tells you otherwise is projecting a different animal onto them. But feral cats do display a loose, instinct-driven form of mutual awareness, particularly during the moments when another cat is most exposed. Eating, sleeping, being cornered in a space with limited escape routes. Your bathroom, from your cat's perspective, checks every single one of those vulnerability boxes simultaneously. It is small. It has one entrance and one exit, which are the same door. There is no high ground, no place to survey a threat from above, no secondary escape route. The sounds are strange. Running water, unfamiliar mechanical noises, the echo of an enclosed space. And most critically, you go in there and you close the door behind you. You eliminate your own visibility. You cut yourself off from the rest of the home, and then you stay there. To a cat whose brain is still running, at least partially on ancient survival software, that sequence of events reads as, "The person I am bonded with has just voluntarily walked into a potential trap." And a cat who has formed a genuine attachment to you does not process that neutrally. They process it with something that functions very much like concern. In 2019, a research team at Oregon State University, led by a scientist named Kristen Vitale, published findings that significantly shifted the way many researchers and behaviorists think about cats and attachment. What the study found, when it applied a modified version of the secure base test, a methodology originally developed to study attachment bonds in human infants, was that the majority of domestic cats, roughly 65%, form what can be classified as a secure attachment bond with their primary human caregiver. This is the same category of bond seen between young children and their parents. It is characterized by the use of the caregiver as a safe base from which to explore, a reliable source of comfort during stress, and a figure whose absence registers as something worth noticing. What this means in practical terms is that when a securely bonded cat watches you walk into the bathroom and close the door, they are not experiencing casual curiosity. They are experiencing something closer to low-grade alarm. Where did you go? Why are you in there? Are you okay? The paw sliding under the door gap is not a cute trick. The meow from the other side is not a performance. These are the behavioral outputs of an animal that is genuinely tracking your safety and genuinely bothered by the fact that they cannot confirm it. The bathroom door, from your cat's perspective, is not a privacy boundary. It is an obstacle between them and their ability to fulfill what they have decided is one of their core responsibilities, keeping an eye on you. And this is where the first layer of meaning connects to something even more interesting. Because the protective instinct is just the entry point. Once you start examining why your cat wants to be in that room with you, you find that the motivations are stacked, one on top of another, each one revealing something different about how your cat's mind works and what they believe about their relationship with you. Consider for a moment the matter of food, not your cat's food, your food, or rather what your cat suspects might be your food. Cats are obligate carnivores with a deeply embedded drive around resource acquisition and competition. In the wild, a cat that catches prey does not bring it back to share with the group the way wolves do around a kill. Cats hunt alone and eat alone. The first priority after a successful hunt is to find a private, sheltered location to consume the prey before another animal can challenge for it. This is not selfishness in any moral sense. It is survival. A cat that does not protect its food source is a cat that may not eat. So the brain learns isolation plus enclosure plus closed-off behavior. Eek. Else food is happening. Now apply that template to your daily bathroom routine. From your cat's observational standpoint, you engage in a very specific repeated behavior that matches that template almost exactly. You walk to a room, you go inside, you close the door, you stay there for a while, you emerge. The pattern is consistent, it recurs multiple times a day, and there is no obvious explanation for it that maps onto any behavior your cat can identify as non-food related. Cats do not have a conceptual framework for human plumbing. They do not understand toilets as functional objects for waste elimination. What they understand is behavioral patterns, and the behavioral patterns and the behavioral pattern of go to room, close door, stay a while, come out, is, to their brain, consistent with one thing: resource consumption in a private space. This is why many cats will immediately sniff the floor when you open the bathroom door after they've been waiting outside. They are not greeting you in those first few seconds. They are checking, they are investigating the scene for evidence of whatever you were eating without them. Some cats will meow persistently while waiting outside, not because they are anxious about your safety in that particular moment, but because they believe they are being excluded from a feeding event and they would like to register their objection clearly and at volume. The resource instinct in cats is so strong that it can override other behavioral tendencies. A cat that is generally quite independent and does not seek out much physical contact may still feel compelled to follow you to the bathroom simply because the food-related alarm bells are going off and they do not want to miss whatever is happening in there. This is one of the reasons the bathroom following behavior shows up in cats across such a wide range of personality types. It is not a behavior exclusive to particular well-being in ways you can't see. It shows up in aloof cats, in cats who generally prefer their own space, in cats who have never shown much interest in following their owners from room to room. The combination of enclosure cues and social bond cues is strong enough to pull in cats who would otherwise stay on the couch. But then there is the matter of time, and this is one of the aspects of the bathroom behavior that people find most surprising when they really sit with it. The way cats anticipate rather than follow. You have probably noticed, if you pay attention, that your cat does not always trail behind you to the bathroom. Sometimes they are already there, already sitting by the door or positioned in the hallway nearby as if they had some advanced knowledge of where you were going before you even started moving. This is not psychic ability, as flattering as that would be for both of you. This is something arguably more impressive, which is the depth of pattern recognition and behavioral mapping that cats perform on the people they live with. Cats do not experience time in the same linear, clock-conscious way that humans do. They are not watching the minutes pass and calculating when you are due for a bathroom trip. But what they do have is an extraordinarily refined ability to recognize sequences. Not just individual behaviors, but chains of behavior. The specific order of events that constitute a morning or an evening, or the particular rhythm of a Tuesday versus a Saturday. Your cat knows that the alarm goes off, and then certain sounds happen, and then you move in a particular direction, and that direction leads to the bathroom. They know that after the bathroom comes the kitchen, or the coffee machine, or whatever your next morning ritual is. They have mapped your routine not as a list of individual events, but as a continuous connected sequence in which each element predicts the next. And they have memorized that sequence with a precision that should honestly be a little humbling. This is why your cat is already at the bathroom door before you get there. They are not following the event, they are anticipating it. They have learned that after the particular combination of sounds and movements that precede your bathroom trips, the bathroom door is the next relevant location. So they go there first and wait for you to catch up. Research published in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior has found that disruptions to an owner's daily routine are associated with observable stress responses in cats, including behaviors like excessive grooming, increased hiding, litter box irregularities, and changes in eating patterns. This is not true of every cat. Individual temperament plays a significant role in how sensitive a given animal is to routine disruption, but across the population, the data suggests that cats are not just passively aware of your patterns, they are actively dependent on them. Your predictability from your cat's perspective is not a boring characteristic. It is one of the most reassuring things about you. It means the world is structured and knowable and safe. It means the food comes when it is supposed to come. The warm body is where it is supposed to be. The sequence runs as expected, and everything is okay. So when you break the routine, when you go to the bathroom at a strange time, or skip your usual morning sequence, or stay away from home for longer than expected, your cat's internal map develops a discrepancy. The sequence did not run as predicted. The expected event did not occur. And a brain that is built around predictive pattern recognition experiences that discrepancy as stress. Because in the wild, a disruption to the expected order of things often means something is wrong. Your bathroom trip, then, is not an isolated event in your cat's perception. It is one scene in a play they have memorized from beginning to end, and they care about each scene, not just for its own sake, but because each one confirms that the overall structure of the play is intact and running correctly. Now let us talk about something that sounds, on the surface, like pure affection, but is actually something considerably more interesting. The rubbing, the head-butting, the way your cat, the moment they get into the bathroom with you, immediately begins pressing various parts of their face and body against various parts of you, particularly your legs and ankles, with what seems like intense enthusiasm. You probably think this is your cat expressing love and happiness, at being reunited with you after the incredibly long separation of the 3 seconds it took you to walk from the hallway to the toilet. And while the social bonding component is real, there is a much more specific and frankly more fascinating explanation for why the bathroom, of all places, triggers this behavior so reliably and so intensely. Cats have scent glands distributed across several points on their bodies. There are glands on the cheeks, on the forehead, on the chin, at the corners of the mouth, and along the base of the tail. When a cat rubs these areas against an object or a person, they are not just touching. They are depositing pheromones, chemical signals that are entirely undetectable by the human nose, but that to other animals carry specific information. The most important piece of information they carry in this context is ownership. When your cat rubs their face against you, they are marking you. They are applying their scent to your body as a declaration. This person is mine. This is my territory. This is part of my claimed space and my claimed social world. The headbutt you find endearing, the cheek rub against your cowl, that makes you smile. These are property stamps, affectionate ones, certainly. The fact that your cat claims you as theirs is a reflection of real attachment, but the mechanism is territorial, not just emotional. Here is the piece that makes the bathroom specifically so significant for this behavior. The bathroom is the one room in your house where you are regularly, systematically, and thoroughly stripped of your cat's scent. You shower in the bathroom,